So grateful to be here and very happy to discuss these incredibly important and hard to talk about topics. He has an incredible backbone and staggering moral fiber. Howie is totally committed, completely ethical, totally admirable. No pressure if you can hear this, but honestly, Howie's a hero to me.
John, you joined us before, and it was a pretty incredible kind of testimony you gave, and you just devoted your life to advocacy for child trafficking, and even 9/11 truth. Maybe you could explain to us, in the last decade, what do you think the most challenging parts of coming alive on some of these issues have been?
Probably the hardest thing, and it continues, is just realizing that pretty much everything that I was told and taught since I was in grade school is probably not true. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Traffic Report from a very soggy Southwest Virginia. How's the weather up in Philly, Howie?
It's getting better. It's going to be 63 degrees tomorrow. Wow. Snow's starting to melt. I mean, it's been melting, but it should all be going tomorrow. And people don't care. The Eagles are in the playoffs, and
I care. I'm happy. The Eagles. I always like the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I guess since Green Bay's not in there and the Dolphins are a joke, that I'll be rooting for the Eagles. So. I might even watch it. I might even watch a football game. I hardly watch it anymore with everything that goes on and what we do. So
yeah, well, I don't watch. I really don't watch too much football anymore. So but it puts it's good for the city. People are in a good mood, and like the entire mood of the city is literally resting on 60 minutes of football on Saturday. So, we'll see what happens.
So, we're regrouping a little bit. This is hashtag wars.
Yeah, just us tonight.
And you've been getting some very good results via hashtags, and people need to know that because people are on Twitter and on our feed and to be as effective as they can be. And actually, I found out that hashtags also work on Facebook. So you talk about yours, and I'll talk a little bit about mine. We got Pedogate News. We got a lot of there's still a lot of stuff going on.
We just came up with the idea. After the show on Tuesday, and because one like major thing has happened, in the last I don't know when maybe it's 2 months now. I mean Twitter has literally doubled the amount of characters you're able to tweet with, and I'm obviously in a lot of threads. I believe you can get up to 48 people in a thread, and people get into the habit of passing around information to 40 people, and it gets it gets retweeted by 40 people. But the one thing I'm noticing is that like people are not using hashtags because it's great to send it out to 40 people, but why do you want to just the 40 people in a thread? Everybody knows. It's nice to gather more information, but the reason for us to be on Twitter or Facebook and YouTube also anywhere is to bring new people into the fold, and by tweeting at, hashtags that are non-pedogate related, like that's how you do that. So if somebody's on, I always use The Bachelor, for example. I used to tweet, at The Bachelor, and somebody's, on there talking about whatever the heck, people who watch The Bachelor talking about, and then all of a sudden they'll see something that's, and then, Monty Python, and now for something completely different, and hopefully, they'll catch that.
A man with three noses.
Yeah. But,
a man with nine legs. He ran away.
So, I
think you need a little Python tonight, Howie.
I don't remember. It would just be like,
Yeah,
that was just like an interruption to be like, and now for something completely different, and just go like, I don't know. It was funny.
And they say a man with nine legs, and is he here? And he said, no, he ran away. But and I need to, and I can't wish you a happy National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, but I can wish you a National Human Trafficking Awareness Day.
Yeah, we know it's National, Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and I didn't even realize that today was the day. But that's actually, it's a good example because people will be tweeting at that hashtag. But while you're doing that, why don't you throw some? It was also National Milk Day, for example.
Well, see, when I went to look this hashtag up, that's what's leading. And National Milk Day has more tweets, as long as and many other hashtags. The National Human Trafficking Awareness Day has 450 tweets, and I'm reading through them right now, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children because it's so weak. What's being tweeted about that, and here's and I'm pissed off already. Some numbnut tweeted that there was 258 cases of human trafficking in 2017.
258.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe 258,000. Okay. Oh, wait, I take it back. That was in North Carolina. Okay, so I forgive him. So sorry about that person.
Well, we don't listen. I mean, that we don't know. We don't know.
I bet that number's low, but I'll retweet it anyway. So.
Right, but I mean, just the point is that why you're tweeting at hashtags that are representative of your tweet, in order to get to other people, use these basically use these other hashtags that have nothing to do with the tweet, and hopefully somebody else, somebody who's not paying attention will see that tweet. Now, that's, that being said, of course, we're up against. I've known for, I do this. I've engaged in this.
Twitter is your thing.
Yeah. Right. Well, right. And I mean, but people say it's always like get on Gab, and I'm like, well, I could get on Gab, but everybody there knows, basically it's like passing around information. Obviously, I want to make connections with people, and I want to learn from other people. I want to learn new things. But if I were a lawyer and I was going to, argue the case of, whether it's Pizzagate or even just Pizzagate, I always felt comfortable. Yeah, I don't need any more information. I'll go in and I'll go in and argue with what I have, and feel very comfortable with my case. Pedogate, forget about it. It's there's thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of information. I'll be more than happy to go in there, but we need more people on our side, people that are good people thinking about it. Now, we're not going to find them on Gab. They're not going to be on Gab. They're on Twitter, and that's why we need to be on Twitter to bring new people. If I went out to hold the sign in front of people, I'm not going out and holding signs where in front of people that already know what I'm talking about. You know, they already know. I'm going to people that do not know, and hopefully will be interested. So,
well, we were talking a little bit about Project Veritas, and they're they're finally getting the truth out about what actually goes on Twitter as far as their administration and how they try to shut down the message.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Project, to me, James O'Keefe and Project Veritas, I don't know how they do it. And I mean, like, I would love to do things like that. I mean, they've gotten people, admitting things on camera that are just absolutely massive. I mean, it started with the election and, people in New York talking about election fraud, and, then they did the CNN thing, and, they had Van Jones on.
Yeah.
Saying,
I remember that. I tweeted at Van about his hypocrisy.
It's a career wrecker. I mean, it's massive information.
Yeah.
That you're going up to a guy who screams on television that, oh, Trump Russia, it's a nothing burger. How does this guy not answer this? But then they planned it out that they infiltrated Twitter, and they have people on. They have Twitter software engineers on tape, confirming that shadow banning is a real thing. Confirming that shadow banning is a real thing, confirming that they have actual people that will sit there and review an account, and it's literally their decision whether or not they suspend the account or not. And it's generally based on their own personal beliefs. They can sit there and say, well, this person didn't like this. I agree with this person. They're gone. Or I don't agree with this person. Everything's fine.
And they're clearly politically motivated. Just a current news item, and you can just see that if we tweeted out something was a shithole, we'd be suspended. I know you would be. The Traffic report would be. I would be. But because people are tweeting that out, trying to make President Trump look bad, regardless of what he said, they're not getting suspended. It's trending. That's why Haiti is trending right now. And please go because there's a lot of good stuff in that trend, because their little tactics always backfire on them, and because Haiti is trending and they allowed it to trend. There's a lot of tweets in there about the Clinton Foundation and Laura Silsby and everything else. So their little, machinations always fail, and they're failing right now. And that's, they'll keep doing what they do, and we'll keep doing what we do.
I have a nice, I have a great little segue, that proves this point. And I tweeted it out earlier. You're familiar with this Chelsea Handler chick, obviously.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. I really don't know who she is. Like, I know she's got a TV show. She's supposed to be some type of comedian.
Right. She's supposed to be.
Yeah. So
she does a lot of drinking and
right, and liberals just
drug use and
liberals, which I am formerly one of them. Absolutely love her, but even in my former liberal life, I couldn't care less about this person. I'd be like, she's not my cup of tea. But yesterday, there's her tweet, and it's still her first tweet. It says, and there's a little bit of language on her, so I apologize to anybody. So the tweet goes,
I was going to curse later, so go ahead.
Okay. Holy fuck! It's a mistype, whatever. I just the video of Trump's bipartisan meeting yesterday. Hey, Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, what kind of dick sucking video do they have on you for you to be acting like this? Wouldn't coming out be more honorable?
Wow.
So,
wow. What a tweet. What a tweet.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what she. I don't even know.
Not that she's wrong, because I think there probably is a couple videos on Lindsay, but sorry, but I know we couldn't get half of it. I think if we used one fuck, we'd be off Twitter.
Right, and you're going at a sitting U.S. senator. You know, what kind of dick sucking video do they have on you to be acting like this? Now, I don't know what Lindsey Graham did or whatever. Now, there's more to the story. A friend of mine, I'll use her name because I guess, I can use her. Hold on for 1 second because I want to make sure I have I want to have her correct Twitter handle, and it's Laura Robbins. It's at Laura_Robbins.
Okay.
Her response to Chelsea, she was offended by this and essentially said, Chelsea Handler, let me get I have the tweet right here. Hold on for 1 second. She likes to send me way too many text messages. I know she's not listening, but.
Yeah, I never read my DMs.
No, she sent it.
You know this.
Yeah, no, she sent it to me. She actually sent it to me in text because she got.
Wow.
Yeah, because she got her account got locked.
Yeah.
Now I can't find the. Anyway, she called Chelsea Handler white trash.
Suspended.
Well, for 12 hours, forced to. Oh, God. Forced to.
But Chelsea can accuse a U.S. senator of fellatio with some. I'm assuming another. No, I'm pretty sure if anybody else tweeted that out, anybody that chose to be from the right, that would be nailed as homophobic.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. At Chelsea Handler, at Lindsey Graham, South Carolina. Chelsea Handler is dash in capital letters, white trash dash. And she was forced to delete that tweet and locked out for 12 hours. They
deleted it for her, didn't they? Right? Don't they?
Yeah. I believe this happened. And somebody else just came to me because I tweeted that tweet out and said, why is this person being, locked out? Someone else, her name is Marianne Faithful at Marianne, Texas. She tweeted at me.
Oh yeah, or is it Carrie Ann Faithful?
No. This is literally a Marianne, Texas.
I think is her handle Carrie Ann?
No. There's a Carrie Ann. There's a Carrie Ann.
Another one. And two in Texas. Wow.
Yeah, we got a Marianne with Carrie Ann.
That's weird.
And after I tweeted that out, I tweeted Chelsea Handler is still white trash, and Twitter forced me to delete the tweet and lock my account for 12 hours. So Chelsea Handler is protected goods on Twitter.
Yep, apparently.
Not cursing, not targeted harassment, not threats or whatever it is.
You can't call her out for anything, apparently.
Well, there is a hashtag Chelsea Handler human urinal because they have a. I wasn't.
I guess they missed that one.
No. There's a reason for this, John. There's an actual video of this. She's on a boat with her boyfriend. She jumps in the water and she's in the water. He's standing on the boat. Someone's filming him literally urinating on her, and she's standing there taking it in the face.
Nice. Real nice.
Yes.
Well, of course you would protect her. Let me give you some good news.
All right,
that you may or may not have seen.
I didn't want to make this show about Chelsea Handler, but it was just
no. It's and actually that was I've had enough of her with that last little little story. But at any rate, former Idaho Representative Brandon Hicks killed himself amid the investigation into child sex abuse. So he did his he resigned in October and died from a self. Actually, I put that under Pedogate News, and it looks like an Open Secret got a hold of it and retweeted it. So yeah, he did everybody a favor, and he's where he belongs. So I wish a lot more of them would do that, and it would free up some of the room that's going to be needed in the legal system to prosecute these guys. So yeah, another state senator or representative. So from Idaho.
Yeah, I mean, those stories are. Listen,
I wish they were a dime a dozen, but they're that's encouraging to me. That some of these criminals are doing the right thing and removing themselves, because there's no cure, obviously. So he cured himself.
All the arrests, all the arrests that I've seen, I didn't pay attention to this in my previous life, but I don't know where they're putting all these people. I mean, it's a lot of arrests, and there was this. Yeah,
they're going to have to build a few new prisons when it all.
There was a story going around out of England, within the last year, where I don't remember who it was, but basically, the person, from the, I don't know how high up he was, and I don't know if it was national or a local police department, basically said we can't arrest low level pedophiles. We don't have room for them. It's impossible. And he's on the record saying this.
Well, that's just something else we're going to have to change, because they're going to have to make room for these assholes. And I think they can do it perfectly, because they have the corrupt. We'll keep the corrupt prison industrial complex model. Instead of putting people who smoke marijuana in that system, we'll put pedophiles, and there'll be plenty of room.
Yeah, but, I mean, I believe that there's this. That would be,
and we'll still have to build the prisons. I know.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, but if you really start working out the numbers of all the people that are doing it, it's pretty scary. And I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough. Even if you could just wave a magic wand and arrest everybody, I don't think there's 100th of the cells that we would need.
I'll tell you what. We'll release all the low-level drug offenders, and we'll maximize the population, and then we'll worry about it. And places like Guantanamo would be fine for these assholes, or wherever, all the military bases we have throughout the world. They can, they have prisons in most of them, so we can.
Yeah, but
we're going to be creative.
Yeah, but here's the thing too, John. I mean, a lot of people tweet out, and it's like, when a lot of responses to people that are, got arrested and got convicted. It's like, yeah, have a nice time in jail, buddy. Bub is going to be waiting for you. The typical, they'll get their, upcomings in prison. I connected with somebody. I met somebody on. I was pretty friendly with him for a while, who actually spent 12 years in prison on a manslaughter charge. And he told me that pedophiles are very, very well, at least from his experience, that they're very well protected in prison.
Yeah,
it's not
most of them are in protected.
They have custody. Where he was, they had their own separate building. So they're not releasing the general population. They're not, get in there and all the things that we have in our head that what prisoners will do to them. That's not exactly what's going on. And he was actually the prisons go out of their way to protect these people. So
Well, I'm hoping the trend of them offing themselves will help cut down on that too. So that would be a nice,
But at the same time, too, you look at some of these, some of the sentences we've seen, some for some pretty horrific crimes, 3 years, I don't know how long they actually do.
Yeah. Or somebody getting a plea deal for raping a kid 3 times. That's a local story that I won't get into, but with that, we're working on that one too. So. Yeah, and a lot's going to have to change, and we walked into the woods for about 100 years, and you don't walk out of the woods in 6 months. It will be a long, protracted fight, but I think we're in a better position to prevail than we ever have been with the atmosphere that's changed, and I think it changes daily. And like I said, I'm waiting for that first big name to get locked up, whether it's Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, maybe, whoever. And once that happens, I think the avalanche that we've seen, which has really blown everybody away that's in this fight, it's going to look like nothing. It'll look like a ripple in the pond when the first big one goes down. So,
well, I mean, but we have we in order for that to happen, we need to increase,
the hell raising, yeah,
and it's hard, it's hard to do it, it's hard to do it with, listen, if there's 320 million some odd people in the United States, and there's 1 million people that know. There's 1 million people on our side, and 1 million people would sound like, a tremendous amount of people. That's 1 out of 320. We have to increase the numbers. You probably, I don't know if you've heard this story.
No.
Yeah. And somebody had, and she'd done like, some provocative type things. And somebody had, I don't know if it was done on Twitter or Facebook or somewhere. I think it was done online. It's like, and she's a former Disney star also. And basically the comment to her was like, what did Disney do to this? What did Disney do to this girl? She's obviously been, sexually abused. And she says, as a matter of fact, I was, but it wasn't by, she literally came out and said, as a matter of fact, I was, but it wasn't by Disney. It was like in my own home or something. And then she tweeted out 2 days ago that she was, she was abused at home from as early as she can remember to age 14. Now, she didn't say who did it, but it obviously, it's the way it was worded. It was obviously a family member. But it even after that came out, it sort of got lumped in with the Me Too thing, and people were, oh, you're so brave. Thank you for speaking out on this. And it's like, whoa, wait a second. There's a 20-year-old person that just said she was raped from as early as she can remember till age 14. And people are like, oh, you're so you're so brave. I'm like, so brave? Wait a second. Who the hell did this to you? What's going on here? Oh, thank you for speaking out. Yeah, thank you for speaking out. But how about hello, police?
Well, they're out there. They're arresting some people. I'm looking at this. God, the worst child abuse case in state history. I just tweeted that out to Pedogate News, and this is a mother selling her 8-year-old, and they've apparently arrested 8 people that were involved in this. So she's selling her 8-year-old son to be raped, and I'm trying to see where exactly this is.
Well, I'll tweet out this Bella Thorne, and she's not a nobody, man. She's got 7 million. She's got 7 million followers on Twitter.
That was in Germany. Jesus.
Oh, that was in Germany.
The 8-year-old, yeah.
Oh. Well, listen. I mean, when we focus in on, we focus, a lot of what's going on, and we said before, what's going on in the United States. When we start, when we start going international, I mean, it's, getting into third world countries. But trying to find
looks like another one I just retweeted. Their Anonymous is being censored for exposing pedophiles on Twitter. So they posted a video with I guess a paste bin exposing all the pedophile accounts on Twitter, and I guess YouTube took their video off or did something like that.
Oh, I'm sure. But anyway, getting a little bit back to this hashtag thing. I guess it was Sunday night when I was I may have been watching a YouTube video, and an advertisement. I didn't realize. No, I'm sorry. It must have been Saturday night, and an advertisement came up for the fact that Seth Meyers will be hosting the Golden Globes. So it's like, great. Golden Globes are going off, and so I said, let's obviously an event like that, it's going to be pretty big. So with everything going on in Hollywood, that is our time to we call it hijacking the hashtags. Everybody should be on board. Everybody should be going after these hashtags, and everybody will, because obviously, the Golden Globes will be tweeting things out. Oh, doesn't so-and-so look beautiful? Somebody said this and blah, 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 and all, what's going on. And we should be and we should be getting in there, hitting them with, every, pedophile thing that's going on, in Hollywood, and, and whatever it is. But, don't, it's basically crash the party. And hijack the hashtag. So we got it going, and I got a lot of support from a lot of different people.
Yeah, I want a hashtag about that and Meryl Streep during that.
Sure, absolutely.
Roman Polanski. There's another hashtag to attach to it.
Oh, absolutely right. And as these things, throughout the night, for example, at least from a Twitter. At least on the Twitter, there's different things that'll be trending. As soon as Oprah got up to speak at the Golden, give her little Cecil B. DeMore award speech, then now Oprah's trending. Now you add to that. So and obviously that has to be an active thing and have everybody ready. But for the Academy Awards, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to make it a lot bigger. And
who's going to be on? And while you're at it, if you haven't followed An Open Secret at An Open Secret or Gabe Hoff, I'm sure they'll be on board with that one.
Yeah. Now they were doing it. They were using that methodology on Twitter, but I tried to get them involved, but they might not.
Matt Valentinus. Yeah, well, they'll be on board. They'll be on board for the next one.
I'm saying. But now, literally getting everybody together, and if we could, and what I like to do is to strategize and get memes together and basically tweet out a lot of the same stuff, and find our bet. Anybody can do whatever they want, but if you have tens of thousands of people, shooting meme, just the same 20 things. Now we're just, it's like we're blasting, and it's like they can't not see it. Unless unless there's a way, unless Twitter has some algorithm that, that blocks everything. But if everyone's tweeting and people see a meme, and then they, if they're on, if they're following the hashtag, and they're just, it's just inundated with the same, whether it's Kevin Spacey, Woody Allen, Roman Polanski, whomever. Pedogate is real, Pedowood, just seeing it. People are going to, they may see it once and ignore it, but if everybody's doing it in a concerted, effort, then now we've hijacked the hashtag. Yeah. So that's a strategy. So for the Academy Awards, which I believe is March 6th, I believe, March 6th, March 8th. We'll be getting this well organized, getting the memes ready, what we want to do. And we'll be tweeting out to the Academy Awards, all over. But this works for so many things, John. I mean, we're talking about it. Okay, we'll take over the Super Bowl. Take over the Super Bowl hashtags, and there's a lot of different Super Bowl.
Absolutely, because that'll be along any time now,
right?
And they definitely need a kick in the ass,
right? But
and we know that the Super Bowl is a prime location for child trafficking. There'll be children being bought and sold by the scumbags that are there for the game. So
and you're right, and human trafficking. Whether it's children or adults, there's human trafficking going on there. There's big money. It's a big party, and there'll be obviously be prostitution. How much of it is
you remember Kendall? Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil, what happened to Kendall? Follow up, nothing. But yeah, that was her part of her story, was the amount of trafficking that went on at the Super Bowl, and that LAPD detective or the head of the child trafficking task force in LA was confirming that. So that's one of the prime locations. So yeah, that sounds like a good event to.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. So and these things these especially these Sunday events, the award seasons. Everything's on a Sunday, so it's a great time to get everybody and listen. If we can convert 100, get 100 people thinking about things, but it doesn't, not every day is a Super Bowl or the Academy Awards, but every day, if you look over, you look over to the left, there's something going on.
Yeah, a child's being raped. That's what's going on, and in every community.
No, I'm saying there's something. Yeah, there's a hashtag going on.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. And even those, the Monday motivation, Tuesday thoughts, and I need to use those a lot more than I do. And now that we have the character increase, I think it's actually helping us do this. And just while we're talking about this, Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, please like the Traffic Report Radio Show page. That's how you find it. It's called the Traffic Report Radio Show. And we have a crowdsource page that's doing really well. And use your hashtags, because on Facebook, the hashtags are also searchable. They do, and they have the same stifling mechanisms that Twitter does. But like we've said, it gets out, and you can even if you say you want the FBI to or anybody that's reading about the FBI, you put at FBI on Facebook, and it comes up, and it'll bold whoever. It could be Oprah Winfrey, it could be at FBI, but you'll see it come up on a little pick list, and you select it, and it bolds FBI in your tweet or whatever or National Center for Missing and Exploited Children or whatever, and that appears when people search their organization. So and the hashtags are searchable on Facebook. So there's a lot of overlap there. And while you're there and while we're talking about that, we have a support group for survivors of child sexual abuse and also survivors. It turns out that all the members right now are also they're victims of judicial and DCF child trafficking, and they're also survivors of child sexual abuse. So that support group is growing, and I need to. That's my goal this week, is to reestablish contact with some of the great people in that group, Neely and Marcel, and there's that's going really well. So please, when you're doing this, and if you get involved on Twitter and you happen to be on Facebook, go over to Facebook and do some hashtags, do some tweet on the crowdsource page for the traffic report, and or your regular timeline, and keyword these people. You just if you put @ and whatever the name is in your Facebook post, it attaches to that organization. So I'm sure there's one for the Academy Awards. There's one for the Super Bowl. So if you're on social media, use it. Use it to our advantage. Yeah, Haiti has 502,000 tweets, and it's still trending, probably for the wrong reason. But like I said, there's a bunch of tweets on there about Laura Silsby and the Clinton Foundation, and that's backfiring on you right now, Twitter. Let's see if they take it off. I really think they can't give up the opportunity to make Trump look bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if when I go on Haiti, I'm getting things that are. I see some Lars Silsby stuff, and Thomas Paine, Thomas 1774 Paine. Now the libs and leaps are going to tell me that I'm racist because Haiti is a shithole. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. He basically tweeted out that by Trump doing this, the whole thing is going to backfire on him because it's going to expose.
And Anderson. And okay, this is where I'm going to curse, because fuck you, Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon, both of you. He's on there. Well, Anderson was shedding crocodile tears over this, the Trump Haiti thing.
Did he cry?
But he was nowhere when Laura Silsby was made, and I think she still is, an executive with the company that does Amber Alert, a convicted child trafficker. He had no interest in Bill Clinton personally flying down to Haiti to get her off her charges. So, fuck you, Anderson. Now you're worried about Haiti, and Don also. That they've obviously their opinion is that this is a racist issue, which it's not. It's and what it's about is, Haiti is a shithole because our deep state has kept that country in, like they've done in Africa, and they don't mention that. They don't want to admit that the CIA has made these countries shitholes because it's to their advantage to keep the population where they can just take the kids out of there, and nobody even pays attention. So that's the story, Anderson and Don. That's the story, that our deep state has made Africa and Asia and Haiti and every small underdeveloped country that you can imagine havens to just take kids out of there, and that the Clinton Foundation was down there doing that. Okay, that's the story, not what Trump said about Haiti. So fuck both of you. So that I told you I was going to curse. So I got that out of my system.
But there's a lot, and if people want to go and search it, obviously, there's the Haitian people have been talking about this missing money in Haiti. But I found this article, right, and this is on NPR, obviously left-leaning NPR, not the unbiased, in search of the Red Cross $500 million in Haiti relief. $500 million in the Red Cross that is missing, in Haiti. Just tweet this stuff out. Okay, Don Lemon
and you know what? Anderson's not crying that there was 258 cases of human trafficking in North Carolina in 2017. He's not crying about that. So
was he literally in tears?
Literally in tears. Well, he's CIA Mockingbird, so I'm sure they teach crocodile tears is probably like a whole semester in their training. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it had. I don't know if it had. It might have something to do with my browser. I'm still running Windows. I have to get a new computer. I'm still running Windows.
Here's a good tweet, and that's what our shows were about last week. Recognizing human trafficking, what to do about it in schools. You should cry about that, Anderson. That our schools in this country are pedophile networks, for all intents and purposes.
Or how about Anderson Cooper go down and do like a week-long special on location in Haiti, in the tent cities,
and find those kids that Laura Silsby was trying to get across the border, because I bet they got across the border. I bet you when she was sprung, they got some local people to do it, and those kids are now dead or sex slaves in some creeps home. So why don't you do that? If you really give a shit about Haiti, Anderson, go down there and live in that. Live with those children. Go down and find those two wonderful girls from Pennsylvania that have actually done something good in Haiti and are actually providing a service to the people down there. And of course, they don't get the help that they need. They don't get any media attention. And forgive me, I can't remember their names, but there are people doing good work in Haiti, and those two young ladies from Pittsburgh are. That's not
how they make money. But what we're talking about tonight about hijack. I mean, that's the perfect example of hijacking a hashtag. They're tweeting about Haiti for obviously a reason, because of something that the president said, and then the alt-right, the red pillars, they're going to go in and they're going to say a lot of things. But we need to do that, as the pedogay community, to not wait for something like a Haiti to start trending, but just basically use what is out there. There's always like there's funny things, there's funny hashtags, like they're not coming into my head right now, but I wish there was one up there right now I could think, but it's something like fill in the blank type of thing. The reason I'm poor is, or my life in 5, or something in 5 words, or something else in 3 words, and just use everything that's available to us, and and tweet at those, and use those hashtags, and get your message out there, every day, and hopefully, and slowly start converting people in that way. Because, like I said, if we're just talking to ourselves, we're going to be somewhat of a stronger army, but we're still going to be the same size, and we need volume. We need more people, to be aware of what's going on. So,
yeah, and this is a great tweet towards Anderson. Said Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and their lawyer Cheryl Mills robbed and financially raped Haiti and Haitian people after earthquake killed 200,000 people. Clinton's made millions. Google Black Ivy Group, SAE, hospitals never built. Hillary's brother got gold mining license. No one cared. Apparently, Anderson, it's because if he's talking about Haiti, you might as well talk about Haiti, Anderson. But that's not part of the agenda. Obviously.
And just as a side note to all this, every time Don Lemon's name comes up, he's, to me, he's unwatchable. But Don Lemon was raped as a child. He never went into the details of it, but I mean he's on the record that he was sexually abused as, I believe, I'm going to say like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old. No, he never said who or what circumstances were, but he is on the record. And the last, I must have been missing when Don Lemon was doing the stories on child trafficking and child sex abuse, because I don't see a whole lot of them.
Well, and he's, as a survivor, I would support him, regardless. But, why would you be working at a place where they don't allow it? And they don't allow those stories. And, and we talk about, and I think anybody that's working there is complicit in this. But that being said, CNN is not going to allow any of that to run, But and then it's just like the people that work at the FBI, that are not prosecuting cases because of their job or whatever. They're just as complicit. And if this is going on, and obviously, I don't think Don's stupid. He must know that that's their editorial policy at CNN, not to talk about what the Clintons did in Haiti. So, as a survivor, how do you reconcile that? I don't understand. But I would support him as a survivor and being a survivor. But it's just and it's how the system is set up. And I'd take a minute now to remind people about the partisanship, and George Webb probably said it best. It's not about right and left; it's about right and wrong, and realize that you've been set at each other's throats by political ideology that is basically a joke. I mean, if you identify as a Democrat or a Republican, you're missing the boat because those two handles, and conservative and liberal and all these bullshit labels that they try to put on people, are just there to keep you at each other's throats, and it's still working, and that's why we work with anybody that has a desire to get to the problem, which is the corruption and the child trafficking, and we have liberals that follow us, and I don't even want to use the term. We have people that take on those labels, and you're killing yourself, and you're the corruption and all this is not going to end until the mindset ends, where people aren't identifying themselves as one of these labels that have just been created to divide and conquer you. So that's sure. My and nobody listens, and you can and I'm not even going to tweet it again, but there's a site called the Global Center for International Politics, and it explains the whole thing to you. And I've tweeted that out, I don't know, 50 times over the time we've doing this show. And you can go there and you can read and you can look at the NGOs and where all the money goes and how they're dedicated to just that, to those labels, to keep us separate. And they finance the left and they finance the right. And if you think all that money is going to those sides to bring us together as human beings and stop child trafficking, you're crazy. But how many people actually go and read that and want to know that? I don't know. But I'll keep encouraging people to do so. And I don't, and I want to find more out about these comments, and a lot of times I think Donald needs to shut the fuck up, as far as some of the stuff he says and the way he says it. But what I'll always say, regardless of what he says or what he's done, he has been the only president to address child trafficking and some of this corruption, and we don't endorse racist comments. We don't endorse any of this bullshit. Our goal it's about child trafficking and stopping it.
John, I don't want to interrupt you, but I mean, but I think, I'd like to think there's a method, there's a method to his madness about what he says, because the bottom line is he's triggering people, he's triggering the hell out of them. And I think some of it is intentional. So when he says these quote unquote stupid things, I believe there's a reason.
That could be.
But that's just my my take on it. And it's a lot of people's take on it. And you see the way people are, the media's triggered, the way Hollywood's triggered. I mean, look at the people that have come out and said that. I mean, Robert De Niro
is still there, Howie?
We don't get into all this stuff, but I mean, they're literally getting up.
You faded away for a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. But I was just saying that, Robert De Niro gets up on a stage and calls the president the jerk off in chief. It's like, hey Rob, what are you so angry about? Did Robert De Niro's life change that much in the past?
And I don't
what's
see
so
Robert
mad about, Rob?
I don't.
What are
I
you
don't
so
see,
mad about, Bobby?
I don't see Robert De Niro or any of them following an open secret. I don't see them policing their own industry that's a haven for pedophiles. So,
well,
I don't give a shit what he thinks about the president. He needs to clean his own house. And we all do.
But the fact that he's out there doing it, it just makes me wonder. Listen,
they all do it. Tom Hanks, did you see his shirt? About the National Impeachment March. Tom, I think you should have a shirt that says "Stop child trafficking in Hollywood." Stop child sexual abuse in Hollywood. Is that the best thing you have to do with your time, Tom? Is wear a shirt to impeach the president?
Right. And why is he doing it? And John, why is he doing it? Because there's something. Because they're trying to, for whatever reason, they're trying to. Tom Hanks' life hasn't changed. Meryl Streep's life hasn't changed.
No.
Harvey Weinstein's life has changed, fortunately. But
and the theory is, and I don't disagree with that he was thrown to the wolves to cover up a much worse situation.
I mean, absolutely, and
it always backward. It always backfires, and it has backfired because it has released the mother of all sexual abuse storms that and people continue to come forward. These stories continue to politicians, police officers, teachers. So it always backfires, and people get weary of this, and I understand that, and sometimes I get weary of it, but I think we need to remember that we're making progress, and we just have to keep moving forward.
We all have a minute or so left. Along the lines, one thing on Don Lemon, you're saying, there's our guest next week. We have a very special guest coming up next week. Actually, for everyone to know, is Becky's mom, Catherine, who brought her over from England, will be on the show talking about her own experience with child sex abuse and everything that she's worked on throughout her life. She's always been. I'm very friendly with her, and I asked her to be. We were talking, and I asked her to be on the show. I didn't expect her to do it, and she's agreed to do it. So I'm looking forward to that. But she told me she's the one. She put in my head that
the music got you, Howie. Great guest next week.
I got him to talk over the music. That some. We'll talk about that with her.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you with some great shows next week.